do you got? What do you got? I will never not love Rottweilers. Forever my favorite breed. We are back in the old home gym, the original home gym, my parents' basement. I'm visiting my parents and I'm getting a session in here at my old stomping grounds, man. This home gym is where this channel began. This home gym is where I started lifting weights back when I was 14 years old, weighing 104 pounds soaking wet with 11.5-inch scrawny ass arms with a 65-pound bench press max my freshman year of high school. Like, this is where it all began. I had hopes and dreams of becoming Ronnie Coleman and Arnold Schwarzenegger one day, and I think I successfully surpassed both of them in physique and strength. Just getting a little session in down here for old time's sake today. It has been a month plus since I've actually trained with a barbell or any real weight. I've just done those dumb little dumbbell workouts I showed you at home like 3 times a week, and it's so boring. This will actually be the first time benching for me in a month and a half, because I actually stopped benching a couple of weeks before the quarantine because my shoulder was bothering me after I slept on it wrong. Go figure, you lift all this weight in the gym and you end up hurting yourself by sleeping. How ridiculous is that? Look what just came in. These are available now, just dropped this week. The red and white gangsta wraps, the 36-inch wraps by Slingshot. If these are not the cleanest wrist wraps in the world, I don't know what are. But these are available right now on Slingshot, and I went ahead and put the Slingshot link in the info box below for you guys. You can use the code NICK10 to get 10% off. But yeah, we're diving on in, man. Starting with the bench, everything felt a little rickety. This bench is old, it's like 30 years old. You can see the 5-gallon container underneath the end of the bench, the head of the bench, so it doesn't break on me, just in case. Very wobbly, it was very sketchy. So I felt a little not solid underneath the weight initially, and you can see that we're up until 365. The other thing about this bench is the pegs are too low here. It's like a half rep, but up here, they're just a little too high. So I'm stuck in the middle with you. Ooh, yeah. 365 feels a little bit more like 400 now. Finally, at about 385, I got used to the bench. It is gonna hold, it's sturdy, it's just old and rickety, and I got my confidence back, and then we just kept loading up weight, and finally, 405. That was a little sketchy. That was a little rocky. But we did it. 405 pounds, man. My first time benching in a month and a half. And I benched 405. And I think that's my first time ever benching 400 plus here at this old home gym, which is crazy. Crazy. I mean, this is where I started. This is where I failed that 135 back as a kid. This is where I'd come down here and load up a big amount of weight and fantasize and wish that I could lift it like I saw my friends in high school do. Crazy to be able to come back to this place with the same weight and equipment that I began training with as a kid, now with the strength that I have now. It's pretty surreal. Didn't do too much benching since I didn't want to kill myself being a month and a half off of it. Just did a little bit and then moved on to back. A little bit more chest, but mostly back. And I used the old 80 setup they have here. They have this amazing machine that they've had since before I was born. I think they legitimately got it in the 80s. I'd love to know what year it was actually made in. And to this day, it is still a kick-ass machine. You can do so much on this machine and it still gives you an amazing workout. So just on this one machine, I was able to do more chest pressing, some rowing, some lat pull downs, and finally we busted out the old barbell row. Haven't done these in so long. I don't have my old rack here anymore, obviously. You may have noticed a lot of the equipment's gone. The posing light's gone. That's fine. I moved out like a decade ago. No one uses this really. My dad uses this once in a while. It's mostly a storage place down here. So I made do and I put some padding on the floor and we did it. And what's funny, man, is the benching felt fine because I've been keeping my upper body warm. with that dumb little dumbbell workout I showed you guys. It's lightweight. It doesn't do a whole lot for strength, but still, just doing those floor presses, the flies, the push-ups, working the shoulders really good 3 times a week still keeps the upper body warm and still keeps it in motion and used to being activated. So when I got onto the bench, I was a little rusty, but I wasn't way far off. Felt surprisingly good. Versus something that involves posterior chain loading, like deadlifts and squats, have not done any of that. So when I did the bent over barbell rows, rowing it actually felt fine, like in my arms and lats, but just bracing and keeping myself bent forward like that, oh my goodness, it felt like I was holding 500 pounds up with my core. That's an example of don't use it, lose it. My core has just been so neglected for like a month and a half now, and I'm not complaining. It is what it is. I'm sure a lot of you go through the same thing. I don't care. It would come back the second I practiced it more, but it's just kind of funny. It's crazy. It's almost surprising. It's like, wow, those little dumbbell workouts did enough to keep my upper body warm enough to make bench and still feel okay. But not doing anything for the posterior chain or lower body made bent barbell rows with 225 hell. Crazy. So that is a wrap, man. I'm not going to make it a habit of coming over here all the time, obviously. With this quarantine, I'm not even supposed to really be doing that, and I want to keep everyone safe, of course, but wanted to visit my mom, and figured I'd get a session in here for old time's sake. I was going a little crazy, not touching a barbell. Looking at these pictures is a trip. Like, not even so much Ronnie Coleman, because I've just followed Ronnie Coleman even up until modern day, obviously, and everyone sees Arnold all the time in the movies, but like seeing like the old bodybuilders that you don't see much anymore, like Marcus Rule up here, and like Lou Ferrigno, who I don't even really care for, especially when I've seen him charging fans for every little thing at expos. Not a fan. But this was back when I was like 14. And then like Dennis James was actually the first bodybuilder I stumbled upon in Google. I remember his vascularity just blew me away in that most muscular. But man, looking at all these like printed out from 2006. 2006 is when these were printed out. It's a wave of nostalgia I can't even describe to you guys. Like, I'm sure some of you long-time subscribers, I love you for that, are feeling some nostalgia with this basement workout. Multiply that by 10 for me. This is where this began. Like, I was a kid with a dream just to get on the bodybuilding stage one day. This like flashes me back to like, I can smell how the house smelled the day I wanted to start bodybuilding again. My God, and what a life it has created for me. Crazy, crazy. Guys, for real, I am somebody with really, really average genetics for bodybuilding, right? I'm not genetically cut out to be a bodybuilder. Not a great one anyway. Yet I still ended up making a living for myself. And it wasn't off of directly competing. I didn't win my pro card and make a living competing in the Olympia, obviously. A lot of us won't. So I thought outside the box, and I'm not bragging. I just literally just did. It was dumb luck. I just continued to do what I wanted to do, and I never let anybody dissuade me from that. Even when everyone was going to school and telling me to go to school, I knew what I wanted to do, and I stuck to it, and it paid off tenfold. I mean, now people can say whatever they want. Oh, you're a shit bodybuilder. You were never that good, blah, blah, blah. I mean, fine, whatever. A lot of that's probably true. But at the end of the day, I made it so I left working for someone else. I left the 9-to-5 world at 21 years old from bodybuilding. I mean, I'll take that. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to brag, because what I have could be gone in an instant, any day, you know? And I can't bodybuild forever like this on YouTube, obviously. I'm not dumb, but just want to point that out there, guys. If there's something you're into and passionate about, even if it seems ridiculous, like there's no way in hell it could turn into something monetary, just stay doing it. Stay doing it. Imagine in 2006, before YouTube even popped up, YouTube was 2007, if I had told people I want to somehow wait for a social media platform to come out that's just right for me, jump on it, and start competing in bodybuilding and sharing it on there, and somehow make a huge living from that. Like, what the fuck? Doesn't even make sense. So just stick to whatever the fuck it is you want to do and make sure you get it done, and fuck anyone else's opinion. So this is the current bod situation going on right now. Post upper body day. First real good upper body day in quite a while. Didn't do arms or shoulders today, obviously, but we're hanging in there. About 196 this morning, actually, on the dot. So a little bit lighter, which I wish I could be cool and be like, that's coming from tracking my macros and staying super disciplined. But really, it's just from eating a little bit less. Since I'm not training, I'm not burning quite as much, and I'm not working up an appetite. I am trying to do cardio at least 5 days a week, which is definitely helpful. That's extra activity for sure. But really, I kind of eat big. I mean, I eat feasts, but I eat really about 2 meals a day on average, instead of eating like 4 main meals a day now. Okay, this was supposed to be about 20 orders printed. And instead, the Dymo label writer just went haywire on me, and I tried fixing it and recalibrating it, and it skipped pages, leaving them blank. It would print one label on 2 different pages, and it's a mess. I'm getting your orders out now. You guys killed the sale, thank you. The Bench Club shirts, we're trying to get rid of them, clear them all out, and you guys are doing amazing at that. And I think after this, I'm done. I don't ever want to have a physical product on my site again. Shipping, overhead, the cost of restock, printers most of all. Programs are awesome. They're just there, you download them, it's easy. You get jacked when you follow them. I like programs a lot better.